Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we round up all of the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website from the past 7 days. And we did miss last week's episode purely because it was Labor Day and we didn't take the day off completely, but we did wind back and post fewer stories than normal. But the rest of the week was loaded and full of hype and excitement. If you were following along, I'm pretty sure we were pumping out anywhere from 10 to 15 stories a day. And we even had to miss a few stories purely because we were just that backed up and had that much to share. And we're going to kick this episode off with the news from Lion Edge Nutrition, who has been around for a little while now. Mostly putting out more advanced sports nutrition supplements. It's got protein powder a protein-based post-workout. There is an intra-workout joint formula, and now it's finally come into the pre-workout market, which is quite big purely because obviously it's a pre-workout category, but this is not something that Lion Edge has touched before. Despite most new brands coming out and entering the pre-workout game. In fact, usually that's the first category they hit. Lion Edge has really stayed away. It's not touched the category, stayed far away, not far away, like I said, it still has an intro-workout. And yet it hasn't really done or stepped into the realm, and it is now ready to do so. And this past week we got a full look at what is called Pre-Edge, which is, as mentioned, the brand's first ever stimulant pre-workout. And if you've checked out the rest of the brand supplements or you're at all familiar with them, you'll know they put together pretty solid formulas, pretty well-dosed ingredients, mostly reliable, common ingredients, but good dosages. And you can get that by looking at its other supplements. So it's not too surprising that kind of approach is the same in Pre-Edge. The brand has kept it pretty straightforward, pretty well-rounded as well. So Pre-Edge is designed for your four typical pre-workout benefits, including energy, focus, pumps, and performance. And it has a set of ingredients to kind of support each of those areas. Just a few of the highlights. For pumps, you get 6 grams of pure citrulline. That's alongside taurine and arginine AKG. For performance, there is 2 grams of betaine, 1.5 of crealkaline creatine, the premium pH buffered creatine, and then there's 1.6 of beta-alanine, which I was surprised to see. I'm not sure if beta-alanine's in any of the other supplements, because obviously beta-alanine is usually at that 3.2 dose, almost always at that. Some brands do 3, sometimes do 3.5, but usually it's in and around there. 1.6 almost intentionally seems like half that 3.2. And we have seen brands do that before, where they'll put 1.6 in their pre-workout because they have another 1.6 in their post-workout or intra-workout. I don't know off the top of my head if that's the case on this one, but there is 1.6 in Lion Edge Pre-Edge. So I would have preferred to see that at 3.2, because even though you obviously, if you're a brand and you have 1.6 in your intra and in your pre, you don't want to put full doses in each and have overlap. But at the same time, if someone's just buying your pre-workout, you gotta want to make sure they get the full 3.2. But so that whole blend, the betaine, beta-alanine, and creatine is there for the performance and endurance benefits. And then for energy and focus, you get the likes of theanine, theobromine, choline, caffeine, tyrosine. The caffeine's at a moderate 300, and there's also electrolytes in there for hydration and black pepper to help with absorption. So it's fairly typical, common combination of ingredients. Nothing that we haven't kind of seen before, but a reliable supplement. And again, it's kind of to be expected from Lion Edge. They've built their name on quality, well-dosed, solid formulas, and this kind of continues that. From what I know, it's launching later this month, so you'll be able to pick it up. It will be available through the Lion Edge website, and it will have 24 servings per tub, which in the more modern style of pre-workouts, you'll be able to split that, so you can do 40 single servings or double it to get the maximum and all those dosages I talked about. But yeah, you can check that out on the site, and from there we shoot over to another brand who is heavily in the pre-workout market, and that is Performax Labs, who this past week finally launched its big rebrand, which involved Hypermax, or Hypermax 3D, which is what it's called now. It's the newest version of the long-running Performax Labs pre-workout. It's that pre-workout, not this current one, but the pre-workout just in general. Hypermax has been rated in our top 5 pre-workouts for several years now. It's been number 1, it's been number 2 a few times. And this latest version maintains that position in the top 5. The brand really upped or increased the pumps, I feel, on this one. The energy and focus was around about the same, maybe slightly less, but the performance, endurance, and pump side really lifted up, and it almost feels like a refinement or a better balance of all of the effects, or even a more even balance. But that product launched last week on Friday through Performax Labs website, and it came along 2 other supplements. And this was quite an interesting thing, but before I get into the fact that it launched with 3, those 2 other supplements were MassMax and AlphaMax, both of which are muscle building supplements, and they are, like Hypermax, they're well established and been in the Performax family for a while. Also, like Hypermax, Performax made a couple of changes to MassMax and AlphaMax. Basically, all of the ingredients have remained the same. There are just a couple of tweaks here and there. So you should get the same, if not better, experience. For example, in MassMax, I'm pretty sure they didn't really do a whole lot. Actually, I don't know if it was MassMax. It's the AlphaMax. They switched to KSM 66 branded ashwagandha. So it's little kind of tweaks here and there like that they did. They kind of fiddled with, tweaked with, and made it slight improvements and adjustments, but nowhere near as big a changes as we see in Hypermax. But yeah, so if you head to the Performax website, it is MassMax, AlphaMax, and the new Hypermax that are available at the moment, and that they're all with the brand's fresh new look. The interesting part here is that if you're a Performax Labs fan, you'll know that there are several supplements missing from that group. So before its rebrand and relaunch, Performax was in several other categories. It had a pump pre-workout in Vasomax, it had Slimmax, it had protein powder, it had an amino, there was a fat burner, the nootropic. I'm only naming categories because I can't remember exactly the names off the top of my head. So there's several categories that it's, at least on its website, it's no longer competing in, but that won't be the case for long. The brand has said that it is going to be rolling those other supplements out, each of which will have little tweaks and changes similar to AlphaMax and MassMax, and some of them may even have quite comprehensive changes like Hypermax. So they're not going completely. The brand isn't switching to just 3 supplements. It's just doing the 3 for now, and it'll be gradually dropping those other ones in the coming weeks and months. When they get close, we'll obviously have details and teasers, kind of letting you know which one's coming soon, and then we'll obviously share the changes Performax has made, and then let you know when they can be available. But it's basically the Hypermax, MassMax, and AlphaMax are said to just be the start for Performax Labs. There are a lot more coming, plenty more releases. So definitely stay tuned, and don't worry if you're a Performax Labs fan. It's the line hasn't shrunk into 3. There's still plenty more to come from the brand. But you can check out our review, our full hands-on review of Hypermax on our website. Just type in Performax or AlphaMax, and you can get a look at all of the tweet formulas as well, like the Alpha and MassMax. The next story we have comes from Chemix, who is probably one of our favorite brands, just purely because they Chemix, obviously coming from the Gorilla Chemist, it only tends to do sort of premium quality advanced supplements, and it really hits them out of the park each time. I haven't really seen a Chemix supplement that didn't look impressive, and I haven't tried a Chemix supplement that didn't deliver on what it's meant to do. That goes for King of Pumps, the stimulant pre-workout, quarter block. I haven't tried the entire lineup, and the sleep they Chemix does products that really deliver. And this past week, we finally saw the complete reveal and release of Chemix Atp. Now, this is a performance and strength supplement that was initially said to be quite a game changer, not really a game changer, I'm not sure if they said that, or just a big, important supplement. And then we finally got a sneak peek not that long ago, and then that was all followed by exactly what's in the supplement, and then we got the launch last week. It was one of a kind, that's right, the brand refers to it as one of a kind. Sorry, I was just making sure I got the context right. But so the brand revealed the full formula behind it, and it is relatively short and sweet. You get 5 grams of D-ribose, 5 grams of pure creatine monohydrate, and then 4 grams of ornithine. The Creapure and D-ribose are in there to help with ATP for better performance and strength, and then the ornithine is there to kind of help reduce exercise fatigue. So all three are really there to just help increase or support performance, endurance, and strength, work together, and they all come in a flavored formula. Now, the interesting thing though is that those dosages I mentioned, the full dosage is the 5 grams Creapure, the 5 D-ribose, that's what you get in a full serving of Chemix Atp. Now, each tub only has 20 full servings. So it's kind of like most pre-workouts. We get the 40, kind of like what I was saying with the Lion Edge pre-workout, you get 40 regular servings or 20 full servings if you want to get those big dosages. And so, the Chemix ATP, you get only 20 big servings, and this is a creatine supplement, so it's suggested to take it every day, so it's not going to last you the whole month. And the more interesting part is that the price on this, I guess, considering we're talking about a creatine, is pretty up there. It's $45. To be honest, obviously, as I mentioned, it's a lot more than just creatine in this thing. But while that price did seem, it's not bad, it's just a little more than I expected. Shortly after Chemix launched Chemix ATP last week, because it launched it without any kind of deal, it just put it on its site, we did indeed get a deal. And that deal was kind of like a limited time weekend sale, where if you spent over $100 on the Chemix website, you got 1 tub free. So we worked it out that if you bought 3 tubs of Chemix ATP, you get the third for 3. That'll bring it down to $33 a tub, which is a lot more reasonable, I guess. And it'd be interesting to see how well this one works. I've always had great luck with creatine supplements. They always seem to work really well for me. So it'll be interesting to see if I can get my hands on this one and give it a good run for a month or two. And again, I haven't had a Chemix supplement that didn't work, regardless of what the formula looks like. Like I said, there's only really 3 ingredients in Chemix ATP, which seems short and sweet, but that was kind of the case with Quarter Block. We used that one, and despite it only having, I think it was 1 main ingredient, and then it had estrogen maybe in there for absorption. But just despite that 1 main ingredient, the thing worked incredibly well. Might have to get this one in and give it a run, but if you'd also like to give it a try, again, head to the website, type in Chemix ATP. I don't know if the limited time deal is still on, so if it's not, you won't be able to get it at $33, which is only if you bought 3 tubs. So you'd be looking at the regular price of $44.95. From there, we shoot over to Myprotein, who was incredibly busy last week with Impact Week, which is where basically it's like a week where it runs a whole bunch of deals and discounts. And as we've seen in previous years, alongside those deals, Myprotein drops a bunch of releases, several new supplements, and that's what we got. There are a few we didn't have yet to share or had not posted about just yet, but we made sure we got the big ones out, including Alpha Pre-Workout, which is a all new pre-workout from Myprotein, and it kind of takes the cost-effective approach, and more importantly, it takes the full dose approach. So typically, when you get a supplement that's pre-workout going for a low price, you get one of two things. You either get a very short and sweet formula, so maybe 3-4 ingredients, good dosages, or you get the usual variety that you would get in some more advanced supplements, but the dosages are not that great, whether it be in a blend or fully transparent. Alpha pre-workout is of the former, where you get just a handful of ingredients at pretty solid dosages. There's 5 in total, and in each serving you get 3.5 grams of beta-alanine, 4 grams of arginine AKG, 8 grams of citrulline malate, 250 theanine, and then 300 milligrams of caffeine. So it is probably not going to be, taking a place on my top 5 pre-workouts, but the combination is pretty reliable, pretty well dosed in all of those ingredients. And as I mentioned, it's gone for that more cost-effective approach. So the regular price on this is 22 or 23 pounds, which works out to about 31 US. And you don't really see pre-workouts all that often in the close to that $30 realm, and this is for 30 full servings. So the 8 grams of citrulline malate is what you get in each of those 30 servings. This isn't 30 halves and then 15 to get the full dose. But during Impact Week, Myprotein actually discounted this thing heavily, dropping it all the way down to 16 pounds, which worked out to about 22 US. So I mean, as far as cost-effective pre-workouts go, that thing is very competitive. I don't know if the deal's on anymore, but that was pretty strong. Great if you got in on it. But the other thing Myprotein did last week for Impact Week was it launched a whole series of authentic collaborations with the Power Rangers. Obviously, a very nostalgic show from back in the day. And yeah, Myprotein came together with the Power Rangers, and it made 6 different flavors of its clear whey isolate, which is a premium lean whey isolate based protein powder that goes for the more fruity, refreshing flavors than your typical chocolate, vanilla, and so on. So yeah, they partnered up with Power Rangers, and they made one flavor for each of the core Rangers, which includes the red, blue, black, yellow, and pink, and then one for the Green Ranger. And each of them, as I said, is a different flavor. All, again, authentic and special edition. They all feature that the Power Rangers logo, and obviously the Power Ranger that it's themed around in the background. And the flavors, they have mentioned what the flavors are. So the Red Ranger is cherry, the blue is blue raspberry, Black Ranger is black currant, the Yellow Ranger is lemon sherbet, pink is pineapple grapefruit, and the Green Ranger is sour gummy. Now, of those 6, Myprotein did launch one of them in the US, and then with the Black Ranger, but the flavor is different. So while in the UK, Europe, the Black Ranger clear whey isolate is black currant, in the US they went with a grape flavor, but still the same supplement, the clear whey isolate and everything. And I don't know if the other 5 are going to be available in the US at any point, but for now it was just the 6 in the US, the UK, Europe, and then the one in the US. We now move to another UK-based brand, and that is the Skinny Food Co., who, like Myprotein, has been incredibly busy. And they've dropped over the past month or so, I think, maybe a few weeks. They've just been doing reveal, and these haven't been flavor extensions, which is usually what we see from the brand. You get sort of a bunch of new flavors for Skinny Syrup and Skinny Sauce, which is its low-calorie syrup and sauce. We haven't seen any of that, but we've seen a lot of new releases. And so it all started with a picture of the Skinny Chocoholic Drops, which is the brand's version of the classic Smarties or UK Smarties, which is kind of like M&M's, where it's a chocolate covered in a hard rainbow shell. And Skinny Food put together its version of it. Then we got Skinny Fruit Bars, but last week we got a whole bunch of products. Firstly, there was the Skinny Coffee Zero, which is a cold brew coffee coming in 3 flavors with salted caramel, French vanilla, and hazelnut, all with 0 sugar and 0 calories, which would be a damn interesting product to see and try. Then we got reveal of the Skinny Chocoholic Squeezy, which basically takes, if you're familiar with the brand, they have a product called Chocoholic, which is like a hazelnut, like a Nutella spread, but obviously low sugar, low calorie, the usual twist. And it obviously comes like most nut butters and stuff. It comes in a big jar. The brand is now coming out with, as I said, Skinny Chocoholic Squeezy, and it basically takes that Chocoholic spread and puts it into a tube to whether if you want to make it easier to serve while you're at home, or take with you on the go, or just whip out and eat away. It's basically an alternative format. The jar is remaining. This will just be available as a different format. Another product that the Skinny Food previewed over the past couple of weeks was Skinny Fruit Bars. So it's another, like the Smarties, is another classic food item that the Skinny Food Co. is basically putting its little spin on. There'll be classic fruit bars in berry, strawberry, and mango flavors, and they will be low in sugar, high in fiber, and available in the 3 flavors. You can get a closer look at all of those products. Just head to the site, as per usual, stack.com, and you can check them out. Just type in Skinny or Skinny Food, and it should come up with a full list of all of the products that have been previewed over the past couple of weeks. We're now going to close out with news from Beyond Raw, which is the GNC exclusive brand. Very similar to Lion Edge, as I talked about at the start of the episode. They do pretty solid, well put together advanced sports nutrition products. They've in a mountain of different categories, and they kind of bring that premium advanced approach to each of the categories. One of the categories Beyond Raw was already in fact, was testosterone booster with Infinite Test. And this past week, the brand came out with a product called DTF, which I thought was a nice play on, obviously, the abbreviation, what it actually stands for. DTF, or at least common social terms, means obviously down to fuck, but they've put a nice spin on it. Underneath the title, it says DTF Dynamic Testosterone Formula. So this is the brand's second testosterone booster, and coincidentally with the name DTF, it is also designed to enhance and boost testosterone naturally, as well as libido and performance endurance in the gym. So I just liked the name, how they tied it in quite subtly. And it is fitting. This isn't too out of character for them. If you recall, they have LIT, which is the pre-workout, and then Beyond Raw has LIT AF, which is again another inclusion of a modern term. And AF obviously means as fuck, so LIT as fuck. It's a nice play, a nice twist, and DTF kind of follows on from that. And I thought it was a cool way to give the brand a second testosterone booster and play into that libido angle, which is something that it kind of, I guess, helps separate it from Infinite Test, Beyond Raw's other testosterone booster, and without actually saying what it stands for on the tub, and giving it that alternate meaning. I think on social media as well, they were doing a few things with it as well, playing into the word. But you can grab that supplement now from GNC, which is its exclusive retailer, and the formula is it's kind of a premium approach. They've really mostly only put in premium branded ingredients, specifically premium branded blends. They've used Myprotein, Optinos, and Tesnor, all of which are again blends of various ingredients, and then combined with that, they've got tribulus and borons in there. So again, kind of a premium, half of it's kind of premium blend ingredients, then you've got your more common ones. And again, the idea is to sort of help enhance testosterone, to increase muscle and strength and size, and as well as performance in the gym. So it's quite a comprehensive formula, and you can pick it up now at GNC, and it is slightly cheaper, I think it is, than the Infinite Test, coming in at $79.99. That'll do it for this week's episode. Thank you for listening. We'll make sure we get another one up next week. I am working on trying to get the interviews lined up and going. Generally, I just got to get the first one done, and then we keep on going from there. But thank you for listening, and hope to have you back next week.